Some of you guys are dealing with some very horrible, very traumatic childhood experiences. These experiences are things that wake you up in the middle of the night. Things that make you flash back when you hear certain songs or see certain things or hear certain voices. Extremely horrible situations where you had nothing to do with it. You were just born into the wrong situation. A situation that you did not choose. A situation that you had no control over. In today's video, I want to talk about how important it is for you guys to get over your childhood trauma, your childhood bad experiences, because it's going to play a pivotal role in how you maneuver throughout life. And this is going to further emphasize the point of when you guys have children, you should treat your children correctly so they don't have to grow up with these bad experiences. And these bad experiences are going to hinder how they view life. But nonetheless, it is very important that you get the proper healing. You get the proper help so that you can get over these situations. Because I'm going to explain to you the 3 different ways this is harming you and the people that you're going to encounter throughout your life. And life is harsh. There's a lot of things in this world that we cannot control. We cannot control the families we were born into. We can't control the parents we were born into. We can't control what race we are, what gender we are. You just kind of pop up in consciousness, and you kind of have to just deal with what your genetics are, what your height, what your assets are. You just have to deal with what you have to deal with. But when it comes to trauma, you can heal from it. You can do something to help get over it. It's hurting your mental health more than you think. So the reason why you keep having these bad experiences, guys, and this is coming from a place where I observe and have talked to people that have gone through horrendous things. Me personally, I haven't been through any of that. Thank God for my parents and good family that never did anything bad to me. But I know out in the real world, people are like me are very rare, where nothing just happened. We all deal with something that stems from childhood. But you have to get over it and accept it for what it is. Accept the fact that you had no control and that those people were bad people. The people that you thought were supposed to love you didn't, that they took advantage of you. And whatever your trauma is, because it's holding you back from the proper relationships. It's holding you back from your success. And therapy is going to get this stuff out. Many people have talked about this. Many people think they don't need help. They don't need therapy. They're too good for therapy. Well, guys, you need some kind of help, because the help that you're doing right now by not doing anything isn't going to make it any better. So you need to take some kind of solution, some kind of action. And I think a therapist just talking about it, telling the real, authentic truth helps. Because if you just hold it in, you're going to explode on people. Which leads me to my next reason why you need to heal from your childhood trauma. Guys, if you guys want to have successful marriages, successful relationships, you're going to have to get over that trauma and move on from it. It's easier said than done. I get it. Your healing process might vary. It might take you a year of counseling. It might take you a year of therapy. It might take you 3 years. It might take you 3 months. Nonetheless, you have to put in the work it takes to heal, because if you don't heal that self-fighting, because that's really what it is. You're fighting. It's like holding a grudge. The grudge hurts you more than it hurts the other person, because the other person don't even know about the grudge, but you know about the grudge, which is why it's important to forgive the grudge, so it's for you, so you can move on. It's kind of similar with this trauma. You have to get over it, find a way, get the help, and get over it, because if you don't, that self-fighting that you have with yourself, that self-deprecation, that low self-esteem that you have from that caused you to have from that situation, that self-fighting is now going to be turned into fighting that other person. If you're fighting yourself and then you're like, hey, I'm gonna get into a relationship without getting the proper help, you're just gonna take your anger out that's directed at that parent or that uncle or that whoever, friend. You're going to take out that intended anger out on an individual that loves you, that cares for you, the wrong person that didn't do anything, that have anything to do with what happened. But since you haven't healed, you're going to take your anger out on them. And guess what? It's going to push them away from you. And now you're in a perpetual cycle of being single, not because you're a bad person, but because you haven't healed from the proper trauma. You haven't healed from the trauma of your past. This is why some of you guys self-sabotage, right? Because you didn't get the proper love from your mother or your father. So whenever you get the love of a person in a relationship, you think it's fake, because you go back to that situation when you were younger, when your dad said he would pick you up and he didn't, when your mom said she loved you but she would neglect you. This is really deep things that are embedded in your subconscious that you need to heal from, because it's doing more harm to you than it is to anybody else. The last thing it's harming your success. It's harming your success. Depending on what trauma you had, that's why you procrastinate. You procrastinate because I forgot the exact study that talked about this. But procrastination, let me see if I can get it on the fly, because I had it before whenever I wrote these notes down, but as soon as I start talking, starts to forget it a little bit. Let me go on to this next one real fast, and I'll come back to procrastination, because procrastination definitely has to do with something that goes on from a traumatic past. You're putting it off because you don't want to deal with it. Fear of failure. The reason why you have fear of failure is because every time you fail, you got an excruciating punishment for it. So once you failed whenever you were younger and you got an excruciating amounts of pain or force from failing, whenever you're 30, you don't want to try anything new, because you still revert back to when you think you're going to get your butt kicked whenever you were younger. So you don't try because you think there's some kind of enormous penalty whenever you fail, which is why you're kind of stuck in the same place, because everything has risk, everything has liability to it. It just varies. Starting a business and starting a new job role are not the same risk. Everything you do in life is a risk. It's a chance you could lose. And so if you don't get over that trauma, it's going to hurt you in your success. And so These are some of the things, the important reasons why you need to get over your childhood trauma, because it's going to hurt your mental. It's hurting you as an individual more and more and more. And you're grown now. You can do something about it. There's solutions. You look crazy. I hate to say this, it's a little bit harsh, but you're thinking about something that happened to you at 8 years old when you're 38. You're grown now. You probably have your own responsibilities and kids now. You should be healed from that situation. And if you don't, it's going to harm your relationships, which is one of the reasons why some people in today's culture, today's society are so single, is because you haven't solved your self-fight, the fighting with yourself. And so when you bring somebody else in, you bring the fight with them as well, because you haven't healed. And it harms your success. So that's my video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, like the video. I will see you guys in the next one, man. Hopefully you guys got some good, valuable content from this. Hopefully this helps somebody. Get the help that you need, guys. Peace.